The foundation of our family's happiness hinges on one simple condition: that my husband remains a good person. However, he adamantly insists on his right to hurl hurtful taunts at teenagers online, a stance he's unwilling to negotiate. This morning, as is my routine, I found myself on our laptop after he had left for work. An open tab on Reddit caught my attention, revealing a side of my husband I never knew existed: a vicious troll. His comments were filled with vile insults, racist slurs, and demeaning attacks on people's appearance and struggles. He took pleasure in ridiculing individuals on platforms like Progress Pics, undermining their efforts with cruel messages. Even more disturbingly, I discovered he was targeting vulnerable teenagers on Tumblr, urging them to harm themselves and disparaging young girls in the cruelest terms imaginable. I was devastated. The man I knew and loved, who had always been supportive and kind, seemed like a stranger. In our 9 years together, we had only a handful of disagreements. This behavior was beyond anything I could have imagined. It made me question what else he might be hiding. Delving into his browser history confirmed my fears: he was actively engaged in cyberbullying and spreading toxicity online. I confronted him calmly over breakfast, asking outright if he was responsible for these vicious acts. His admission was swift, but his explanation left me numb. He justified his behavior as a harmless outlet for stress, dismissing the impact of his words on real people. His refusal to acknowledge the harm he caused left me reeling. Despite my plea for change, I soon discovered he continued his online harassment. The intimacy between us faded, replaced by a profound disillusionment. I couldn't reconcile the gentleman I married with this callous online persona. Faced with the prospect of raising our soon-to-be-born daughter with someone capable of such cruelty, I made a difficult decision. I insisted on counseling or separation, emphasizing that I could not trust him to nurture a child in an environment tainted by his online behavior. His dismissal of my concerns and refusal to seek help led me to ask him to leave our home. Though I hoped for reconciliation, it became clear our paths were diverging. Months passed. Alone, I welcomed our daughter into the world, finding solace in her presence amidst the turmoil. He reached out, proposing counseling, and I agreed in the hope of salvaging our fractured family. Yet, the counseling sessions revealed even darker truths: his involvement in extensive online bullying, including the targeting of vulnerable individuals. Despite promises to change, his actions persisted. My heart broke anew when I learned he was still engaging in these destructive behaviors. It was a betrayal that solidified my resolve. Despite one final attempt at counseling, where he minimized the impact of his actions, I knew our marriage could not be salvaged. With a heavy heart, I filed for divorce. I could not condone or live with someone who inflicted such pain on others, especially the most vulnerable. My daughter and I relocated to a smaller home near my family, surrounded by love and support. It was a new beginning, one where she would grow up cherished and protected from the darkness that had shattered our family. In the end, I had to prioritize her well-being over the hope of reconciliation with a man who chose cruelty over kindness, even in the anonymity of the online world.